Shine Divine, my friends, and welcome to today's video where my purpose is to bring you encouraging and inspiring messages from the divine. I'm so glad that you're here. Let's get started and see what message Spirit has for us today. Today I'm going to pull some cards to show us, what is influencing us right now in this moment, and then we'll pull some cards to see what we have to look forward to, what is on its way in, where we end up in the next week or so, maybe a little bit longer depending on what you personally have going on. So let's get started. As always, if it feels good to do so, I would encourage you to take a couple of deep cleansing breaths to help you ground down into your own energy. All right, and where are we starting today, Spirit? Where are we starting? Are we going with top and bottom card? Okay. No? Okay. We are starting with the water element, sensing. And we are ending with the Grand Trine with blessings. I love that. So this is really exciting in my opinion. So right now we are starting out with our water element, our emotions, our imagination. And Spirit is saying that for the time being, moving forward, work on going with the flow. Moving like water will bring you to that place of blessings, of abundance, of prosperity in whatever way that you currently need, because it will be different for each of you. And so over the next, week to 2 weeks, it's important to really feel your emotions. Don't try to contextualize what you're going through. Sit with it, feel it, embrace those emotions that you have. You might experience that over the next couple of days, there are situations that bring up more emotions than you were anticipating. Don't be afraid of them. Don't try and shut them out. If anything, embrace them and go with the flow. Feel it out. Use all of your senses. I also feel like it would be a really good idea for, again, the next week and a half, 2 weeks, to, really lean into the imagination, whether that is playing with your children in some fun way, or if you don't have children, maybe you are tapping into that inner child aspect and doing something for yourself that's just fun. I also feel like art is really important. I know I'm going to say that all the time because I truly, truly believe that art is one of the most important things, but getting your creativity out in some way, and that can look different to everyone, obviously. It doesn't have to be specifically painting or drawing, but you can be singing or dancing or cooking a creative meal, anything that gets your imagination going, and just lean into that. Because like I said, we're going to use that and really move into a time of blessings. It's like Spirit is giving you permission this week into next week to have fun, to do something creative, use your imagination, and really feel into whatever emotion might come up. Don't suppress it. Just let it flow and don't hold on to it. Feel it, let it go, and flow like water to get you from where we're at now into that frequency of blessings and abundance and prosperity. So let's pull some more cards. Let's go a little deeper to fill in this space between now and next. Giving a really good shuffle. Okay. Split. Alrighty. Okay, so it is looking like maybe a couple of you are a little resistant to really feeling into your emotions. You're a little resistant to the message right off the bat because you are much more intellectual. You don't really like to waste time feeling your emotions. You just would rather move on. And Spirit is really encouraging you this week to kind of challenge that. There is power in feeling. There is such power in feeling. There is power in using your imagination, your creativity. You have a lot of strength within you. Starting out, you can deal with whatever comes your way, right? But then there's like this hesitancy with both of these, this king and this knight reversed. There's a little bit of hesitancy over what you view as important. Some of you are more likely to just, you hear like, oh, Spirit's giving me permission to do something fun and creative this week. Like, that's right down my alley. I'm a Pisces. Like, I'm all about spending time making art instead of doing something else. You know, I will say I do struggle with intellectualizing my emotions instead of just like feeling them. But I know that for some of you, there is a bit of a hesitancy, and you might feel that. Even for some of you that are like immediately like gung-ho about the idea, like, I hear you, I'm gonna make some art this week or whatever. But then like in a couple of days, there's like this hesitancy or just feeling like I don't have time or this isn't really important. And Spirit sees that, they're acknowledging that. And yet the message continues to be, maybe challenge that a little bit. Maybe lean into why it might be important to feel those emotions. I feel like for some of you, the hesitancy is because a big emotion will come up in the coming days, and your first instinct is to just shut it down. But Spirit is asking, let's open up, let's stay open, and let's sit with it, let's feel it, and move like water, and let it flow through. Let it flow in and flow out. We don't have to continue to ruminate on it. Because then, if you look through the end of the week, you know, we've got the Three of Pentacles, we're rejoicing, we're celebrating. When I show my work, others give support. So when you put in the time and energy to feel what you're feeling, and to use your imagination, there will be success in the coming weeks for you. There are blessings on the way. There is a reason to rejoice. I don't know why the word rejoice continues to like come up. That's not a word I tend to use, but for some of you, there is a massive rejoicing that is going to be taking place in the coming weeks. And it's really important for you to be able to get to that and feel it. It's like some of you are very emotionally constipated right off the bat, and that's okay. You know, a lot of the times you have to just stuff down, stuff emotions down to just keep going, right? But Spirit is saying it's safe to relax a little bit in the coming weeks. It's safe to feel those feelings because you'll be celebrating in the coming weeks. There are blessings that are on the way, which is really exciting. The Eight of Cups, this says, I accept my situation without resistance. You know, you have a choice to make. You've completed what you need to complete. You're walking away from what no longer serves you, and it's like you've done the work with feeling your feelings and sitting in maybe a little bit of discomfort for a short amount of time and then letting it flow away like water and then walking away from it. We don't have to ruminate. We don't have to sit in this discomfort for long. But in the meantime, it is important. There is power in feeling whatever emotion comes through, instead of like trying to just stomp it out immediately. But I really feel like Spirit wants you to have some like lighthearted fun in the coming weeks, and trusting that in doing so, the blessings are on their way. So let's pull some more cards. Let's keep going. Okay, some of you, all right. We've got regret and grief right away. Right away, like in the early part of the week, just feeling like maybe even those emotions that come up that you want to suppress are feelings of regret, are feelings of grief. And this regret says, I know that I cannot change the past. Grief says, I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. And when we're talking about grief, I don't want it to seem like we're talking about losing a loved one. That is something very significant, and I feel like a different time and place. Grief in this instance is grief over losing an opportunity. Not that that isn't difficult, but it's a completely different scenario, different energy altogether. But grief over losing an opportunity, or grief of maybe you've received some type of news that you weren't hoping for. And regret is obviously regret of how things have happened in the past. And maybe that comes up in the coming week when you allow yourself to feel. Sometimes what you're going to be feeling is a negative feeling. And so Spirit wants you to be able to acknowledge that despite any of that maybe more painful or difficult emotions that come up, let it be like water. Let it flow like water in you, through you, out of you. And in doing so, it sets you up for success to receive these blessings. Balance. I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. Being able to feel the feelings instead of suppressing them will help bring about that balance. Peace. I am a being of love, and I release all negative energy. And lastly, we have letting go of all worry. I am learning that worry doesn't change an outcome. Part of these blessings that you're going to be receiving in the next 2 weeks is being able to put whatever that worry is that's really maybe it's keeping you up at night, or whatever it may be, being able to put that behind you. And part of that blessing that you're receiving, you'll be receiving a blessing that will help really ease that worry. And Spirit is asking that in the meantime, we feel our feelings, we play into the creative aspect of life. In a way, it like really helps to keep us more balanced. It helps balance us out so that we can be open to receiving what is on its way in. This balance, peace, letting go of this worry, and this 3 of Pentacles, a time to rejoice, a time to celebrate. It's gonna be a really beautiful couple of weeks, as long as you allow it, as long as you're open to feeling what you need to feel, sensing it, and don't try and stifle it out. Just feel it, don't ruminate on it, and just let it go. Just let it go. Be like water. Thank you so much for being here. I am so grateful for each and every one of you. Be safe, be well. I hope you find ways to enjoy your life. I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys. Shine divine.